back of her knitting shop, snug and warm, sharing a good dinner, juicy gossip, and showing off their knitting projects and discussing their stitching predicaments. "At the risk of sounding like a 5-year-old, Lucy said, when we arrive there, we'll get to see the puppies. Personally, I'd prefer kittens, as you already know." Phoebe, the youngest in their group and the most expert stitcher, except for Maggie, had pulled out a project and was managing the needles well, despite the moving car and dim light. "At the risk of also sounding like a 5-year-old, I'm really hungry and definitely need a bathroom," Suzanne said, her gaze fixed on her driving. "Come on, Suzanne," Maggie coaxed. "We haven't even left Plum Harbor. Not the town limit, I mean." "Not officially." Suzanne knew about such things. Maggie would trust Suzanne, a real estate professional who had just opened her own office, Kavanaugh Fine Homes, to find the town line blindfolded and also recite the zip code for every neighborhood on the way. Lucy watched out her window again, though there was little to see. "Holly and Rose must feel isolated out here, don't you think?" "Holly never complains," Dana said, "but I'm sure she must be lonely at times with only her younger sister for company." "It is very rural out here, compared to town," Suzanne agreed. "But the zoning has been tweaked, and pretty soon new houses will be popping up like mushrooms. I'd say those Piper sisters are sitting on a gold mine." "They've already had offers," Dana confided. "Holly said she'll never sell their property. Moving away would be too upsetting for Rose." Phoebe held a needle up to her nose to examine a row. "You said Rose had a head injury a long time ago. How did it happen, if you don't mind telling us?" Maggie was also curious to hear more about Rose, without breaching her privacy, of course. When Dana had asked if Maggie would give the sisters a lesson or two, Maggie had gathered there was some special reason Dana thought Rose should learn, but she hadn't asked too many questions. Dana turned to answer Phoebe. "It's okay. I can tell you a bit about her. I should explain so that you know what to expect. About 15 years ago, Rose and Holly were in a car accident. Holly ended up with only a few cuts and bruises, but Rose emerged with a serious brain trauma. At first, you probably won't notice anything different about her. She's bright, charming, and very warm-hearted. Very trusting, too," Dana added, sounding as if that trait was a mixed blessing. "But a large part of her personality is frozen in adolescence," Dana continued. "She hasn't matured much since the accident, which happened when she was just 14, which is why Holly is so protective of her and devoted to her care." "Admirable, but sad," Lucy said. "Sad for Rose and the whole family." "They don't have much family left. Their parents passed away not long after the accident, within a few years of each other, and there aren't any relatives in the area," Dana continued. "When the accident happened, Holly was about to leave for college, but she decided to stay home so she could watch over Rose. She learned the family business and has been running it on her own for at least 10 years now. She and Rose are very close, and very much alone." "But they have you, Dana. An unofficial aunt and guardian angel rolled into one," Maggie reminded her. Dana laughed. "I'm not sure about the angel title, but I am Holly's godmother, and I try to help them as much as I can." "You knew their mother, right?" Lucy asked. "She lived right next door when I was growing up." Dana's voice softened with the memory. "Ava was a few years older than me, but we were very close friends. She got married after high school and moved to Vermont. The marriage didn't last long, and she came back to Plum Harbor with a son. We reconnected, and when she married George Piper, I watched the girls grow up. They still call me Aunt Dana," she added with a smile. Phoebe turned her work over and started a row. "I bet you've been a very good aunt. You and